Hi, everybody. Welcome to Enter Tournament of Champions podcast. We normally put our favorites in movies and games and TV shows. We put them against each other in a tournament, but we're taking a break from that pretty much this episode and number 50 to do a review episode is this episode. And I think I could squeeze the word episode in at least 50 more times.
Yeah.
But this episode is the first one of many that we're going to try and do this entire year, and onward.
Yeah, I was hoping we would stay on top of these this year, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Of like giant blockbusters or what have you that we just do like a little mini episode. There's the word episode again. Mini review about. And this week we decided to do it on the animated movie called Early Man.
Yeah, I'm really glad we could and wait to do it for this animated movie no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised we all got tickets, honestly.
Yeah, I know. It was so busy. It was either that or 50 Shades Free. Clearly there's nothing else playing at the theaters. Yeah. No, we're doing it for Black Panther. Panther of Color. So I'm really excited to chit-chat about it and do our little... I came up with a little formula that we're going to do the episode by so we don't get too carried away with, just tangents and stuff. Don't worry, we will rail against Justice League at some point or DCEU at some point in this episode. We don't want to let our fans down.
Of course.
But yeah, find us on before we proceed, I got to tell you guys, you got to find us on iTunes and YouTube and Facebook and SoundCloud. Those are our primary outlets where we interact. And we want you guys to find us there and share and whatever, and subscribe and all that shit. And review on iTunes, I'm just saying, there might be something in it for you if you review. Leave a review. Hey, how you doing? So, my name's Jeff. I'm joined by the regulars, Kyle and JD, and we are three white dudes about to talk about Black Panther.
Wow.
Some insight here.
Very white.
Some real perspective.
Yes. Yeah. I have I wrote a little mini review thing on Letterboxd. For those that don't know, we're on Letterboxd too. EoCPod. You can see all of our shit. Anyway, and none of it was commenting on it was so cool to see people that look like me on screen because I can't contribute to that conversation. So sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend. Sorry, guys. I mean, it is cool for everybody else that can relate to that, but why would I say something? I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we're just going to we're going to start off with giving a rating. And the rating system that we have is really easy to remember. The worst is shit. So that's the worst. And then you have okay. And then you have the shit, which is the best. And you can, of course, choose somewhere in between. I haven't settled on words for what the in-between words are going to be. So it's shit, okay, the shit, or somewhere in between one of those three.
Okay.
So I'll just go first. I thought this was the shit, man. This movie's fucking really good. I don't know. It sounds like you guys were kind of lukewarm on it because, you are white supremacists and stuff like that. So, especially JD.
The people at my clan meetings were just not happy about the positivity about this movie. So, yeah.
Right. And I think one of you
we're talking about Dungeons and Dragon clans, right? What are we?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I think one of you was beaten up by black people who said, "What are you doing at this screening?" That's a very real thing that's happening. Not really.
It is.
People are feigning that's happening apparently. Right. Someone on my Facebook actually did ask me, "You're not going to give it some time before you go?" No, I don't think about the type of stuff. I just buy my movie ticket and I go sit down and I watch the movie.
Yeah, whatever happens.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I just wanted to walk y'all through my steps and thought process of how much I was overthinking the process.
I wanted to see it, therefore I saw it.
Yeah, I wanted to see it, so I bought a ticket for it. So
it's weird. It's consumerism at its finest. Yeah. It's just fucking weird.
That was the stance I was taking on seeing the movie opening the night. It's the same that for every Marvel movie, I would want to see it opening night. It's pretty easy.
Same here. Even the ones I guess you would call them lesser. Well, it's certainly lesser universes like Deadpool. Don't get me wrong, Deadpool's an exception. That's one we're all very excited for. But that's night one for me.
Yeah, same here.
Come on, guys. But I think it's funny how that joke has evolved, or not joke, but that those fake attack things have evolved into jokes on like Twitter and stuff, where people are posting like pictures of Two-Face from Dark Knight, and they're like, black people ganged up on my uncle who was burned severely on half of his face. And it's like a picture of Harvey Dent from Dark Knight on the hospital bed. I'm like, that's so brilliant.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's funny.
It's so ridiculous. Oh man. Anyway, so my rating is the shit. That's how I feel about it. It's really good, like really, really good. So Kyle, how do you feel about this movie?
It's shit. I'm not gonna hold my punches back. No, it was the shit. I think it got pretty hyped. It got really hyped. I was getting kind of afraid. I'm like, man, this is getting really hyped. You guys feeling this? And then it delivered, big time. So yeah, it's the shit for me. It really delivers. It's top echelon Marvel. So
same. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
JD.
The shit.
Hitler is like a dude you idolize. So
of course, naturally.
Right. How did you feel about this movie? I don't know.
Oh, hold on one second.
He's an Aryan now? Like, what was...
Because he likes movies about Hitler or whatever the fuck, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm a big proponent of Nazi propaganda films and such. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Well, being the aficionado,
Yeah, and if we were having this conversation in private, I would definitely express my real thoughts. But this is going out into the world, and I'm not going to be the only racist asshole that doesn't think it's the shit. So it's the shit, whatever. No, it's really fucking good. I thought it was absolutely fantastic in pretty much every way. I only had a few complaints about it, but yeah, man, it's a great fucking experience. Just fucking fun.
It is. And we'll elaborate on the. I mean, because I assume we all have like gripes, but they're kind of nitpicky at this point because the movie's so goddamn good.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna just start off with pros, like what we liked. And I think the thing that stands out to me about this movie is the villain stuff.
Yep.
And that's not just Andy. I mean, Andy Serkis is on a whole other fucking level of insanity in this movie.
Yeah, good luck everybody ever trying to get to that level.
he's batshit insane in this movie.
He makes the most of his actual time on screen. He's not in mocap in this one, so
exactly. He's like, I'm free.
I'm gonna show the world. I'm gonna show the world what I can do.
Exactly.
So he's great. I loved seeing him in action there, but primarily, of course, I mean, we're talking about Michael B. Jordan's performance as Eric Killmonger Stevens or whatever his name is in the movie.
Sure, yeah, Killmonger. Yeah.
His entire story. We're going to try and avoid spoilers starting out here, but yeah, his entire story. And if we drop it, a spoiler, sorry, this is a new thing we're doing, so sorry in advance.
We'll try and get into format, but
yeah. Exactly. But yeah, his entire story. Like starting out, you kind of think it's like an inconsequential thing, kind of at the beginning of the movie, where it's like, oh, that's kind of fucked up, and then I don't know, man. It's just the way that they unveil his story, and it's not all kind of told to you at one time, and not just that, but it's told in a way that.
Like, really? He just, like, it's... Oh, I don't know if that's a spoiler or not like that, but, like, his presence isn't really felt the entire movie. Like, it just peppered in from here and there. You're like, oh, yeah, he's part of this. And then things really ramp up and pay off at the end, It's,
big time.
Woo!
Yeah, so it's like the pacing of how that story is told, and then on top of what the actual story is, makes you completely feel for him on a totally different, like, level than most MCU movies make you feel.
Sure.
I can't even remember the last time I felt that way about a villain. Maybe the Joker makes you kind of debate things from Dark Knight on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you kind of go, oh, well, he's still batshit insane. Like, he's still somebody you don't believe in his methods and stuff.
Right.
That's kind of the same thing, though, I guess, more or less, because, Killmonger has an agenda, but it's his methods that are the problem. And instead of his actual ideologies, like he's not necessarily wrong, he's just going about it the wrong way. But yeah, just on top of him, like, this is basically his movie, and Black Panther was the presence, right? Like, that's how hero movies in my mind should always be told.
I think so too.
Yeah, where like the villain should be the thing the movie's about, and you're most invested in, and you're like, well, how is the hero going to stop this person? And but the hero is like a presence. It's much, again, compared it to Dark Knight. Like, the Joker is very much the presence in that movie, but Dark Knight is Batman, rather. Sorry, Dark Knight is the presence in the movie that you're kind of like, oh well, we already know he's a badass. So what's he gonna do to try and get 2 steps ahead of somebody that's already 15 steps ahead of him? The villain story is just fucking top notch in this.
And they did that while doing not pseudo origin story, but like entry movie. You know what I mean? Like I guess not entry either, but his first movie into the series. So like if you were gonna flub any like movie villain, which every single Marvel movie has so far, like I guess the first one's kind of always excusable, but like they knock it out of the park with the very first movie. So like, I don't know, it screams to how much that they were really paying attention. To like people's like villain cries, and the Vulture was really good last year too. I think we come saying like he's the best villain in the last like 10. We were all talking about how great the Vulture was last year.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah.
So maybe like now we're on the pendulum has swung in favor of like good villains now maybe for MCU, unless Thanos is a misstep and we all hate him. So
God, please just give him motives. Don't make him Caecilius from Doctor Strange, which I just recently rewatched, and I was just kind of like, his motive is I want to live forever, and that's like that's not enough. It's just not.
Right. I want to stop dying because dying sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, like, we all know.
There's always a motive behind that feeling, and it's just I didn't buy that was the sole reason he was doing it. But here, Killmonger it's complicated, man. This is a complicated movie, and that's what those are the best kinds of superhero movies, the ones that you're like debating with people about. But JD, did you? Yeah, how did you feel about Killmonger and shit?
Man, I thought he was great. While I do like how the story was paced, I still kind of wanted more of him, and that's not a real criticism. It's nitpicky. He could have been in the whole fucking movie and I'd have been happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I mean, I'm not sure whether I liked how the character was written or if I liked how Michael B. performed better, because they're both fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's so true.
Where is the chicken egg scenario here?
Yeah, exactly.
The egg.
I mean, that's first off. I mean, I've seen Creed, and I think Michael B. Jordan was twice as big for this fucking role than he was for a boxer.
Yeah.
And his presence was just charismatic as shit.
Yeah.
And every frustration he had, you get a story reason for why he feels that way.
Yeah.
Well, but there's not one moment in the movie where I'm just like, yeah, but why is he doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
But like, why though? Every time I'm like, oh wow, I didn't even think to answer that question. They're already, or ask that question, they're already answering it. So great, it's just like they were 4 steps ahead of me every time, with the villain. Like I was never at any moment going, but why, or what's going on here, or what's his motive? Like, you fucking get it, like, all the way through.
Right.
Yeah.
And they even explained how his skill set comes to be a little bit.
Yeah, they explained it enough for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think it was... They could have gone we made him this way because he's not... he doesn't live in Wakanda. He's from, Oakland? Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So he's from the West Coast, so they could have easily gone America made him this way, but no, I think he realized his place.
He's self-made.
He used the system to fuel his own skill set, knowing what the end game was. He wasn't he didn't go through all this shit in all these wars and then came back and find all this stuff out. And then
he acquired the tools in his arsenal and then enacted war, on his own vision, towards his own vision. Like, I mean, man, let's talk about execution, it's just organized execution. Like he knew exactly what he was doing, and he set out for a lifelong goal and achieved it.
He definitely accomplished it for sure.
He was a truly imposing physical threat, as well as psychologically. Like he just such a perfect foil.
He could just dial it up he could just dial it up super quick. Like he'd be calm and then just okay, all right.
Right.
Chill out.
It's as soon as he was in the presence of everybody in Wakanda, which is in the trailers. I'm not spoiling anything.
Yeah.
He dialed up his anger by a ton, and that was clearly a performance choice. Like he's completely bitter about everything, every step of his life so far, and he's like, I belong. Like this is my place. Like it's just it's so good. Such a good performance. Everybody's gonna remember this one for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And yeah, so other aspects I loved was Michonne's group. I don't know her character's name. Sorry.
Michonne. Hell yeah.
Oh man,
general.
I'm
Okoye?
gonna offend somebody with this one. Okuya, whatever. I don't know.
You didn't. You nailed it.
I'm not even gonna
You nailed
try.
it. Good job.
But
Thanks.
her and her entire group of women warriors, like it's just them, and you have the Amazonians from Wonder Woman just being fucking badasses, like, and they just
Yeah.
don't, they just
They're
exist
so
to be
cool.
badass, you know. It's just so cool. It's just like a bunch of Furiosas running around. It's so
And
cool.
She's super cool. Like,
Yeah.
man. And she's funny, and she's got a lot of really, there's a lot of humor in
And
this, but she's got a lot
got
of
her
it.
own conflicts going on too.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
great.
She's got a duty.
Huge conflict.
Yeah. I love her
duty.
arc. Her arc and Killmonger's arc, and even, T'Challa's arc too. Like, just they're so complicated. Like, they're just like, nothing's black and white in this movie. Racist.
I know. I was about to say, like, dude, really?
All things are black and white.
Yeah, especially in this movie. All right.
I saw something because we've talked about how Circus and oh fuck, I can never remember his real name. Frodo. No,
Bilbo?
Yeah, Martin Freeman.
Yeah, Martin Freeman.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just your average Tolkien white guys.
It's so good.
Such a stupid pun.
I enjoyed Martin Freeman's presence in this movie, but people were like critical of his and Benedict Cumberbatch's American accents, and I'm like, they're fine. They're not offensive.
Yeah.
I don't
Wait,
know.
what's
problem with
wrong
him?
with his American accent?
I have no idea. Maybe it's just because of what people know about him and Cumberbatch before seeing the movie.
People
that
did
they're
the
like,
same thing when I was with the Fargo. He's just like, oh, it's Fargo accent. So I'm like, everybody's Fargo accent in that show is so
Yeah.
like
yeah.
it's styled up. Like, come on.
Maybe it's because it's not
I
like
think people have it out for Martin Freeman sometimes because I've heard this complaint before in a different show. Like, oh, I don't like that accent on him.
maybe because it's not specific to a region, so people want him to like commit to something instead of doing this like amalgam of an American
Oh,
voice.
so yeah, it's a bunch of like Bible thumpers going, "Hey, that ain't his natural voice.
Right.
You better not be talking like one of us."
I like the epic feel of this movie. Like, we already talked about the slow build and how everything kind of revealed itself, and things kind of come to a head at a point, and you're like, "Oh, this is the end of the movie," and it wasn't the end of the movie.
No.
And the fact that they even amplified it further and gave you this fucking grand, big, like, battle at the end.
No, we were
It's
getting
not really
that.
spoiled, but it's just insane. Like, what? I thought we were saving this shit for Infinity War.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but now
cool.
you know what to expect because you know Wakanda is going to be there.
Yeah,
based on the
fucking
trailer,
armored
so
rhinos, Not to spoil,
Yeah.
but sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing, though.
It was
with
on.
Infinity War, I'm pretty sure you can see in the trailer that Okoye is right there in the front running with Black Panther
Right, with
to
Cap.
battle.
Yeah.
I think the battle takes place on Wakanda. They're
Oh, that's
clearly there
totally
for
Wakanda.
something. Yeah, exactly. That's totally Wakanda because even M'Baku, am I saying that right? The guy who was in charge
M'Baku.
of the other tribe, the like outsider tribe that they went to visit later in the movie.
Yeah, the ape, the gorilla, the tribe or whatever.
Yeah, the guy who
M'Baku,
had like
yeah.
the ape mask and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which good for them for turning like a thing that in the comics was like pretty racist, and they totally turned it around for this movie and made it like a part of the culture and just made him like a fucking badass and funny too.
He was
he
so
was funny
badass.
as shit, dude.
Yeah, I just love that dude's presence. It's just I feel like we're gonna see more of that actor going forward. But yeah, he's in Infinity War, and I feel like his entire tribe
Good.
will be. It's gonna be a big fucking battle. I'm excited. I'm so pumped. Oh man, especially after seeing this, and it's like, oh, this is what they're capable of. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really
absolutely.
cool. Shuri, am I saying her name right? T'Challa's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved her interactions with pretty much everybody.
Yeah, she was great. So magnetic and just like fun and
The jokes, stupid puns. I
loved
love
her
it.
oh yeah,
tech.
really
Yeah.
bad puns and awesome like handshakes and stuff that I wanted to all be on top of. Like I just I love that. I was like, ooh, I need good handshakes with my buddies, Yeah, a lot of cool moments with her. Just a lot of funny, and I like her tech focus because I think that's how she is in the comics also. And she
Yeah.
assumes the mantle as Black Panther at some point as well. So like they could always prime for something like that to happen down the road where
They
she
could.
puts on an outfit.
Another
So,
actress
yeah.
I think we'll be seeing a lot of too is her. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I did like all the tech. I mean, it kind of falls in between the like and the cons kind of category for me. Is the technology is like really fucking cool, but it's comic book logic, so it's kind of like, how does this work? Don't ask questions, man. It's just alien shit.
Yeah, no, it's just alien space rock. Yeah, but how does it like heal people? It's metal.
Yeah, exactly. Just shut your mouth. It's kind of like Spider-Man: Homecoming, where they're like, "We're gonna build this weapon."
Yeah, wait, just directly in the wound? Okay.
Yeah, in Homecoming, they're like building guns that make people disappear, and you're like, "How does that work?" Just shut your mouth. It's alien. Just don't worry about it.
Right.
You know, you just kind of have to suspend your disbelief there. Obviously, I don't think any of these are made to be like Dark Knight. And that's like the 16th time I mentioned that movie. But seriously, like when you compare like grounded comic book movies like to what Marvel does, they're just not the same. And they're clearly trying to do something that is human, but also something that is comic booky. Like the action, especially, is very comic book oriented. You know, when people are like, "I'm so tired of people resolving their fights with punching," and I'm like, it's comic books, guys. Like that's how they do it.
Do you want do you just want Black Panther to pick up a pistol and shoot someone in the face? Like, is that because we have John Wick and Atomic Blonde and shit like that for now, or like that for now? So
right.
You know, it's not like we're not getting a quota of people being shot in the face in movies. You know,
right.
So
and I think Deadpool 2 is going to give us a lot of headshots too. Because it's one of the co-directors of the first John Wick, so it's going to be like the action's going to be, I'm hoping, next level for that movie.
Yeah.
So prepare for more headshots in comic book movies too, I guess. I still like. Yeah, it's just not out of the realm of possibility in this world of comic book movies for me. Whenever it's like, well, I disagree with you philosophically. Let's punch each other. I'm like, I'm not bothered by that, and I think it's weird that people get bothered by it still. Like, it's what do you think you're watching?
Yeah, what would you rather them do?
Yeah,
like that's what we're here for, to see them punch each other.
Exactly, we're here for a big. Yeah,
we're not here to see them
just shot everybody in the head. You wouldn't have a movie.
Solve everything. Like, oh, you know what? You're right. Yeah, you're right. Handshake. Yeah. All right, bye.
I challenge you to a debate on live television. What? No, fuck that.
Yeah,
I want to karate fight you.
If you're into that.
Oh man, yeah. Speaking of the tech, I love the suit stuff with the colors, like the purple and T'Challa's suit, where like that's him absorbing energy and how it can just like cause a pulse of energy to kind of burst out of the suit.
It creates kinetic energy waves or whatever as it stores up, punches and bullets and whatnot.
Right. I thought that was rad, man. That's just really cool, and to see it at work in the final fight too is really cool. Like to see.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to avoid the spoilers on that, but yeah, that's great. I liked. We mentioned Martin Freeman. I liked his involvement in the movie. Like he was involved way more than I thought he would be. I thought it would just be like, "Hey guys, remember me?" Me
too. I thought it would be just that interrogation scene we see. It's like, okay, yeah, they're gonna have him for Claw, and then that's it. And then I'm like, oh, they're cut. Oh, okay, okay, he's in the movie a lot. All right. He's in like half the movie.
Yeah, exactly. He's in half. As soon as he shows up, he doesn't stop showing up. Yeah.
Yeah. The moment you see him, you're not going to stop seeing him.
Right. So. And that's truthful to his side-by-side camaraderie with Black Panther in the comics, too. So, it makes sense. I just didn't, in my head, I didn't expect it for some reason.
I didn't think they were going to do that. Yeah, I thought that, Black Panther didn't need, a liaison into, the Marvel world. And while he's still kind of acting in that role, I think it's really cool that they paired him up together still, because they could have just benched him or done whatever, killed him off even. They could have totally killed him off in this movie.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Maybe they did. I don't know. Spoilers.
Maybe they did. I don't know. Who knows? We'll never know. And another thing I loved, it was Ludwig, whatever his last name is, Swedish last name guy's score. He did Creed as well, and I don't know if he did Fruitvale Station or not. I don't think there's a score in that movie. I'll have to watch it again, honestly. But
no, I don't remember any music at all. Actually,
yeah, I was going to say it's a quiet movie. Yeah, but Creed was just one of the best scores. I mean, to the point where it was so effectively used that it moved me to tears during Creed. That's how good that score is.
Yeah,
and
totally.
This was more dramatically placed. I don't think there's a memorable score. It's moments of the score where somebody's falling and the score stops, and then it comes back in right when somebody falls, and it's this big dramatic moment. It's just there's so many good moments where the score is placed throughout action, and it's not so predictable. It kind of leaves you hanging, and that's really cool. It builds suspense like it's supposed to. It's very Zimmer-esque that way. Yeah, anyway, I love that dude. That dude collaborates with Gambino. Gambino gives him shout outs on albums and shit. Ludwig, oh yeah, and all that stuff. So like, yeah, that dude is. I'm very familiar with that guy's work. He's good shit. R.I.P. to Johan Johansson, by the way. I don't know if we said that, but that dude, that's fucking sad, dude.
Oh
like,
yeah, man, super sad.
He did like
What
Arrival.
happened? What's going on?
The guy who scored Arrival and.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
What else did he do? He was about to do Blade Runner, and then they kind of, I think the studio or somebody was like, let's get Hans in here because it doesn't sound like Vangelis. What else did he do? Sicario too.
Sicario,
like,
that was the big one. Yeah,
fucking insane.
He's only like 44 years old, man.
Yeah, that's so nuts. God damn, such a shame. Anyway, that's all I have for what I liked. Well, and the ridiculous cast. Like it's just like. Every time a new character's introduced, you're like, they're in it too? Like, you're like, holy shit.
Right.
It outdid the post.
Name? It's the girl who plays Maz Kanata. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Lupita Nyong'o.
Shit, she's great.
She's fantastic in this, yeah. And she's
so
another
great
Shades
in
of
this.
Grey character where it's like she's a spy, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting. Like, she could have her own movie, for fuck's sake, and I'd be like all on board. I want to see spies in that world. Like, I just love that.
I didn't even realize that was her for like the whole entire movie until I saw like the credits. I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, I hope that she gets a lot. I don't know because like I don't know her from much. I know her from Star Wars. It's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
She won an Oscar for 13. It's a sequel.
Beast of
12 Years a
Southern
Slave.
Nation? 12 Years a Slave. Okay.
Is it just the 13th year, or is it an additional 13
years
years?
a slave. Fuck, it's terrible.
68 Years a Slave.
They took chewing gum emoji and made him a slave for 13 more years. It's so terrible.
Jeez.
Good old chewing gum. Never.
Oh man, I have a feeling he would have been in this movie had he not already been in Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, totally.
They cast every big name you could think of in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't know Sterling K. Brown was in this at all.
Yeah, that was a
until
nice
he showed
surprise
up
at the beginning. Yeah,
that was cool.
And he has a great emotional scene just by only being in the movie for like 10 minutes. It's so good.
I think he's got like 2 very distinct emotional scenes.
Yeah, and Daniel Kaluuya being in this was like, fuck man.
Yeah,
fuck
totally.
Yeah. I was so hyped when I saw his face. Oh
Me too,
man.
yeah.
And
he was good too.
He had another kind of character arc that was like Shades of Grey, you know, like it's just this entire movie, man.
Well, but everything about that culture seems to be just about, you know, what are you gonna do? It's very meritocracy based, you know.
Yeah.
So it's you know they're loyal on a personal level, but like, come on, dude, we got to get this shit done on a political level.
Well, yeah, and I think it seems that like they get into, and I won't spoil anything, but they get into the political nature of Wakanda, and it's the movie's very much about that, the instability of the political nature after the king has died. You know, like a lot of people yearn for change, where a lot of other people yearn for tradition. You know, and,
like
it creates a rift. And you see that rift, and the whole movie's about that rift, you know. So it's really cool. I really like how they made Wakanda just as much as a character as like any other character. So when the stakes are high for its existence in Infinity War here in a few months, like we're gonna care, you know. And we've only seen it once, whereas we've seen Azeroth 3 times and we've seen it explode, and I still don't give a shit about that place, you know. You know, but we've seen Wakanda once, and I'm like, I'm in. Yeah, I already care. Like the stakes are like, I want this place to survive and like, you know, be around so we can get a fucking second Black Panther movie there. So
exactly. Man, yeah. Great shit all around. I guess we can go through cons. I don't really have that many. I mean, like the CG was kind of messy in some spots. That was the only
very messy in some spots. I'm
One
like, cool.
really stood out to me.
We're still here. We're games like sometimes like better than movies. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just kind of a bummer because it's like, well, you have Doctor Strange, which kind of felt like it was going, and Guardians too, even like where the CG felt like it was going in different places for Marvel, where it was like, oh, this is going to be very visual based going forward. And then Spider-Man: Homecoming had some moments where, like, it's just when they make the guy who's fighting, they make him rubbery looking and shit. People just can't get over that hump in terms of CG, I guess. I don't know.
Right. I mean, for me, like, it never looked bad between any of the major characters. For me, I noticed it with a lot of the bit players that were just, like, it would show Denai Guerrera's character knocking somebody down. She looked great. The guy she was knocking down looked like shit. So... You know, the stuff you're supposed to focus on looked good, but if you're looking at all the peripheral stuff, sometimes it looks just a little fucking weird.
Speaking of her and Daniel Kaluuya's character had were in a relationship in the movie, and they like.
Yeah, they addressed it briefly at the beginning because he
And-
called her honey or something.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's
it was-
not
Well,
enough
he,
for me
he
to feel
goes, they're
this.
sitting next
My
to each
love
other,
or
he
something.
goes, my love, and then she looks at Black Panther and he goes, my king, so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a throwaway line if you don't catch
Right.
it. They never dwell on
It's
it.
just weird that they
It's
didn't
probably
dwell on
because
it.
she's always like on duty, maybe. So it's
Yeah,
not
that's
something
true.
that
Their
they're
lives
really
are
allowed
that separate
to talk about.
as it seems.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
he
that scene
seems
between
like-
them at the
like,
end, though, just
Yeah.
goddamn.
He
Ugh.
takes place like in a tribe outside of the illusion that they cast to like hide Wakanda.
Mhm.
Because I don't know, that's just what it seems like. So he's not even in the city, where she's probably like in the city constantly, like guarding T'Challa and outside of the city and everything. So they probably never see each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. What else? What else is there? Shit. Oh yeah, Kendrick Lamar did the soundtrack, and I'm pretty sure they played one song. So that's great.
Yeah.
It's like you get this
Good for
like
him.
key rap star. He's like one of the biggest hip hop artists right now working today.
Yeah.
That people regard as like the best. A lot of people do. And you play like one of his songs. It's just fucking weird. Weird choice. Okay though. I'm still gonna get the soundtrack. I want to hear it because it sounds like a lot of work went into it. Anyway, that's kind of a mild complaint. I felt it was weird that Ryan Coogler is known for being such a great director behind the camera and stuff, and he has moments in this movie, but it's kind of weird that he didn't get to do more, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like he has there's a single take action kind of moment in the casino thing where Okoye is beating the shit out of somebody, and it's so fucking cool. Camera's going up the stairs and going down the stairs and going up the stairs. And it's a Family Guy reference, sorry. And yeah, it's just really cool single take action sequence. But I feel like that's like one of the only times that happens. It happens like twice, and it's just kind of like I wish he had more time to play, kind of like he did in Creed. Creed was like all him, Fruitvale Station all him, and this kind of felt like there was a lot of editing going on because that's just Marvel's MO, I guess. It's still a blockbuster. You can't.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe he just focused all his energy on getting the best character work he could do. Because
they succeeded in that department. Yeah,
he and Michael B. Jordan do everything together forever, please. Like y'all
know, right?
obviously work so fucking well together. Just keep that up.
it's the new Scorsese and like De Niro. Or,
Yeah, for sure.
some shit like that, or DiCaprio and
Scorsese.
I was gonna say somebody
Or
else.
Scorsese and it's just
And also
okay, it's got a
Scorsese.
points, whatever.
Spielberg and
It's
Hanks.
like Ray Liotta and Scorsese.
It's the new Tom Hardy in Masks. Sorry, that was stupid. All right. I don't really have any other complaints, honestly. The action could have been cleaner shot, but like I feel like the action carried so much weight that I didn't care. The story did a lot of the heavy lifting for the action that I was just getting lost in it, man. It was so good. It was so.
I agree with
good.
the action was too pulled in sometimes. I'm just like, cool, I don't know what's going on here. It's just bodies moving. And this may have been a my screen thing, but the very beginning where it's like completely dark, and he's saving his like girlfriend spy lady.
Yeah.
And it was so dark I couldn't even see what was going on. That may have been my screen. I don't know.
That must have been your screen. It was
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
and
fine
it
for
was
mine,
never that way again. And I think I remember like the screen lightening up a little bit, but like, yeah, I couldn't tell what was going on there. But that was my screen, so never mind. But yeah, I don't know. Outside of that, the pulled into the action, sometimes it can, especially in the casino scene. I was just like, what's going on? I know people are getting beat up, but like, what's happening?
Yeah, and that's kind of like the Marvel kind of strategy with action a little bit. Even with movies I absolutely adore, like Civil War, I can watch on a loop all day if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And yeah, the action's it's just blockbuster editing. It's just like a
When
thing.
you're watching like Winter Soldier and they're like fighting on the ship and it's like clean, you're like, see, you can do it.
Yeah.
Like when when he's fighting like George St. Pierre, like you can do it. Or the even the elevator scene, you're like, okay, like I mean, look, you could see can tell what was going on there.
Exactly.
So I don't know, they can do it. They just don't.
Yeah, they're just like, well, we gotta edit we gotta cut this down or something. I don't know what it is. Like, oh, that's a bad angle. They gotta move on.
How are they going to
Just
handle?
chop it all up. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are they going to handle Infinity War? Like
I don't know, man.
with clusters of people that you care about fighting,
You're gonna have to watch the movie 10 times just to understand, because they're gonna do so many like panoramic shots where main people are in the front ground, but there's still cool shit going on in the background, you know. Yeah. And you're gonna miss everything. You're never gonna see everything in that first screen, and that's gonna kill me. I'm gonna be like, and I won't get to enjoy anything. I think because I'm trying too hard.
Look for a single seat after I get out of my paid showing, and then try to movie pass it and go see it again immediately.
Yeah,
if it's good.
I think
what if you hate it? Yeah,
I think that Infinity War is going to be like the Return of the King type shit for the MCU, like just big fucking battles like the whole time.
Yeah, seriously, awesome. Bit pulled out huge battles. You know, the Where Waldo effect of battles.
Yeah, that's what the trailers already have me do. Oh, look, there's Falcon in the background. Like it's just kind of like shit like that. It's really cool.
No, there he is, right there. Okay, no, Ant-Man's right there. He's not even chunking down. Everyone's just really tiny. We're just pulled out.
That's all I have for the movie. Do you guys have other stuff you want to mention for pros and cons or whatever?
Not really. That can't be spoiled. So.
Oh well, let's just go into spoilers then.
Okay.
Do you guys have anything?
Yeah. Marvel, stop killing off all your villains.
Seriously, you had 2 good ones in this one, and you fucking did them both in
this movie, and you're like, let's get them out of here. You know, like I'm so tired of it. You know, like. You're sprinting towards an end that you're not even trying to get to, you know, by like, you know, we're going to run out of like actually good villains. And then, you know, I don't remember. I'm afraid that they're just going to ruin people.
Everything can be undone with the snap of a finger.
Yep. That Infinity Gauntlet stuff. Yeah.
We'll see.
True.
And Avengers 4 does seem to include some time traveling because, you know, you have set pictures of
people
Cap
in their
his old suit and stuff like that.
Yeah. Could be flashbacks. Yeah, you never know. That could mean a million things, but yeah.
I feel like that's how Captain Marvel could end up factoring into the
maybe
universe.
She unbreaks what Thanos breaks.
No, because her movie takes place in the 90s, and so I'm thinking like there's something happens with something happens and she gets put into the Avengers reality or whatever somehow because she doesn't age between the movies like so it's kind of weird that it's the 90s and suddenly she's
I'm trying to figure out if that's going to take place before or after 4.
It's not Black Panther. That's the movie we're talking about. Captain Marvel is pre.
Well, her debut is in 4, right?
No, her debut is her solo movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it's 4 right after.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it takes place in the 90s.
Yeah. And it's like a spy. We're probably going to see how Nick Fury loses his eye, which is cool.
Nice.
It sounds like he's going to have both eyes. And what is it? It's like the villains we've been waiting for. It's like the Skrulls or something like that. Is that right? I can't remember.
The Skrulls. Yeah. I thought this movie was going to set up Secret Invasion. That's what I thought, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it could, but also at the same time, Thanos is still kind of running shit, so...
But is this coming out before or after Avengers 4?
Is what, Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Before Avengers 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's her introduction, and then she's going to be in 4.
So it's going to have some sort of implications.
It has to.
You would think, yeah.
And the way she's introduced into 4, it's not like she's aged, like, 20 years, so... because that's the 90s, and then you have to,
Well, I figure she's
in
space in the time-space continuum,
I
she's
they
up
have
there
to
with
explain her powers.
Tell us a little bit about it, Tars.
She has to go into a bookcase.
We could be the same age, Mark.
You do the foldy paper thing and put a pen through it, Tars. Oh, you don't have fingers? Okay.
Give me a watch. I'll tell the time for...
Well, you see, relativity. Can you cue Dr. Grant from that space movie to explain it to me?
Event Horizon.
Dr. Grant from the space. You're mixing a bunch of stuff there. I like it.
Yeah.
I do think Killmonger, I think, had his full story told in this movie.
Yeah.
And he went out the right way, in my opinion.
Dude, that line, holy shit.
Yeah, I know, man.
If that did anything other than move you, then I don't know if you're socially conscious or
that's
if you
what
have
made
a soul.
his arc more tragic and poetic in a way, is the fact that it ended. Andy Serkis is a supervillain in the comics. He's always a thorn in fucking Black Panther's side, so it's kind of a bummer that we won't get him anymore, honestly.
Right.
But
again, unless the happens,
just snap his fingers. Thanos can undo all that shit and bring these villains back.
I hear that Aaron Taylor, whatever fuckboy's name, needs
Aaron Taylor fuckboy.
Yeah, they're gonna bring him back as Quick Boy. So.
Oh my god, I am super fast. Look at me.
I am like so fucking fast.
Oh my god.
I think you're talking about Cucksilver, right?
So that's redemption for not making the ranking system based on cucks.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's
Cuck
it.
territory.
Scales are balanced.
Not cuck territory or awesome.
Is it a cuck with my wife, which is like a positive, or a cuck with a stranger, which is a negative, I guess.
There you go.
See, that's why you didn't go with it. It's just a messy system, you know.
It's true.
That's true. Literally and also,
Yeah.
definition wise. So that's, I don't really have anything else to add for spoilers because like Killmonger's story, I don't really want to add any more to Killmonger's story. Maybe for T'Challa's side, where I guess we could talk about the emotional moments in Black Panther because like those involve spoilers. Where like the ones that stood out to me, where that even got me like get a little misty eyed and shit, was T'Challa going to the land, their culture's land of the afterlife,
the ancestral plane.
Ancestral plane.
Yeah. And confronting his father, the king, among the other kings, and
that was
telling
cool.
them they were wrong, and how much you can see in his face that it pained him to say that.
Yeah,
and how he had to go right their wrongs, basically. That was a great scene. That was an emotional scene. I got a little emotional with Okoye, her conflict with her scene with Nakia. Is that Lupita Nyong'o's character? Like she was trying to tell her. You could see the conflict in her. Like it just hurt for her to be like, I'm loyal to the throne, even though she clearly
doesn't matter who
T'Challa
sits
like a
there.
brother and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. That was great.
Which makes her moment at the end even more fulfilling, where she's like, Wakanda forever, and then they turn on him, and they're all like, "Oh man, that scene's so fucking cool." That scene is the coolest scene in the movie, where it's like 5 like just badass women turning to the main villain, not even acting intimidated, going, "Let's fucking fight," and that is awesome.
Because they knew that he wasn't, they knew he wasn't justified.
Yeah.
I mean, his claim was legitimate, but his actions
was
going to
completely take the
make him
country,
unfit.
Like to the depths of hell, basically.
Yeah.
And I like that Killmonger literally killed. Like you saw him kill without mercy or remorse.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool too. Like kind of added some flavor to his
people
character.
killed people like and Claw. They both murdered people in like very inhumane, horrific ways.
Yeah, and they're nonchalant about it. Yeah.
I like when Claw leaves the casino. He's like, "Oh, that was fun." Like it's just a fucking game to him.
Like, no, run along. I'm not going to kill you.
No, go on.
Run
It's okay.
along.
Yeah.
And then shoots him
him
in the head. It's like
casually.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. The humor worked for me too in this. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of came in unexpected moments, especially where like they did the car chase scene, which is a great car chase, by the way. It's one of MCU's best, easily. I mean, it's like what else is there?
That's the thing about this movie is filled like start to finish action. It's kind of crazy. Like if you go back and count how many action sequences there are in this movie, there's a lot.
It's just each one of them means something different, which is cool.
They do, and it's not fluff action. It's all like and it doesn't. It's not like, oh man, we just did this to get here. It all makes sense. Like the action like leads to the story. Like it elevates the narrative.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like in my future, I'm going to end up doing like a shitty fan edit where like Killmonger defeats T'Challa the first time, and it's just roll credits. Because it did end like kind of like fade out, and I was like, "Is that it?"
Yeah.
That's it. That's Black Panther, everybody.
Since we're at spoilers anyways, thank you so much for not doing I've lost my powers, so now I have to fight without my power because I have to prove I am a hero even without my I fucking hate that arc. Yeah. We've done that like so many times already, and thank you so much for not doing it here.
Homecoming literally just did it. Like it's
Oh, I know.
Thor just did it.
I really hated it then too. I was just like, oh my god, like we're doing this again.
Like, and the reason why they take T'Challa's power away during the contests or whatever, that makes sense to me. That's because it's something that can be controlled. So it's part of
it's part of their ritual, it's part of their culture and everything like that. But they could have, since he got thrown off the cliff without it, they could have done that whole act where they're just like, oh, and we burned down the flower field. You're gonna have to do this without it until you get your kingdom back. And no, they didn't. Luckily, we have a whole scene where we steal a flower. We're like, hey, they're going to have this. And thank God that's there because we don't have to have that arc now, And it's just like they
would have turned it into 2.5-hour movie, and then it would have just been...
Yeah, I didn't want to see that arc. I mean, I don't care about that.
I like how not once did I ask myself, why aren't the Avengers helping? Because they did such a good job containing the story to this universe.
Right.
Yeah.
And making it urgent. That's how you have to tell the stories within the MCU. Because Killmonger came out of nowhere, took the throne, And T'Challa's like, I got to get the fuck back there. Like, that's
Well, and it's all in a
like a
place that
day.
no one knows exist.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's also
can
true.
just go,
Yeah,
hey, we know this is happening. And also, the Avengers, they don't exist anymore after Civil War.
that's true. They don't exist like they used to. It's just like
No.
people
Well, they guys they
that
do kind of still.
aren't
Yeah,
as
you're
impressive being Avengers now. It took away all the cool people.
Right. Yeah, because I wouldn't even say Doctor Strange is an Avenger. Like he's
No.
Not
just
yet.
working for the
No,
Pillar
he's just protecting the
Protection
realms.
Brigade.
Yeah, he's just protecting the whatever mystical elements. He's
Yeah.
not even. He hasn't even met like Stark or all them yet. Only
No,
Thor.
that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen in the movie, bruh.
Yeah, it's happening all in the movie, bruh. I feel like that's like the beginning of the movie based on how the trailer kind of pans out. Like that scene where Spider-Man clearly does something and it goes wrong.
I'm gonna have full body chills the entire time.
Oh
during
my
the
God.
movie.
The entire movie, yeah. Like, the entire movie is going to have moments of cheering in the theater and shit like that. I'm going to have to see it again, like, the same night. Because
I'm gonna
of that,
be
probably.
in town with you guys.
Yes,
Are you
will.
serious?
Yes,
Yeah, so
you will.
I will be on the plane on Thursday, so I will not be able to see it Thursday. So that's gonna kill me. But the moment
see it
I
the next
like Friday, I'm gonna go see it like Friday morning while
Yeah.
you guys are at work. If we want to go see it again that weekend, let's
What?
go.
So that's in May, right?
yeah.
I'm back May 4th to the
4th.
12th. Yeah,
Fuck. That's awesome, dude.
yeah.
I did get a pass for Dallas International Film Festival this year. Let me see. I think it's in...
They're not screening it there, are they?
No, I'm just... I think it's the week... Oh, yeah, it's May 3rd through the 10th. So, yeah, I'll have to make some time in there between screenings to see Avengers Infinity War like 18 more times. So, it's going to be fun.
right.
It's going to be a fun week.
It's gonna be fun week.
Oh, one more positive thing. That scene, the end credit scene, spoilerish territory.
Oh, with White Wolf.
White Wolf, yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so he wasn't there the entire time during all this, was he? Like
Probably
hiding
frozen.
away? Because I mean, the way the timeline worked out for me is they came right back to Wakanda after the events of Civil War. But like, when in that time frame did Cap show up with Bucky?
I didn't do any mental gymnastics. I just assumed this was after
Either.
that.
I thought that all took place before the movie, and
Yeah.
the entire time.
So
he was
he's just-
right when they go, we're gonna put you on ice. I think like immediately they're like, hey, we're taking you off ice. That's not how we're gonna cure you, and they're gonna
Right.
we're gonna go teach you how to control your own mind.
Yeah.
Well, they can use that Wakandan tech to probably heal whatever brainwashing was done in his head.
Yeah.
right?
Possibly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
kinda
everybody
what I think
coming
it
his
is,
stuff
surely.
is probably psychosomatic, also.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. I
So,
mean,
like,
I think
that's what he's like curing now. Like in his, like. I don't know. He looks like they're hiding out. You know what I mean? Like he's not near
Yeah.
anything. He's like with a tribe, and I think some kids run up or whatever. But like they
Right,
look
right.
secluded, like really secluded.
Yeah.
it's
Really
like,
far
man,
away from everybody.
Galooly really took a vacation after that Tanya Harding
Yeah, he did.
incident.
He
Yeah,
really
right.
did.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's not Jeff Galooly anymore. It's like Jeff Smith or some shit.
It's something
Yeah, I
generic.
love how they live like 3 streets away from each other still. Like fucking trailer trash be trailer trash, you know?
That's so
you,
true.
you love the filth you live in, man. That's
I
just,
do. That's fucking for sure.
You know.
Those are our thoughts on the Black Panther movie that just came out. It's really good origin story on the Black Panthers from the 60s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forrest Gump shows up.
I really felt the plight. So.
Forrest Gump shows up, really apapologizes for breaking up the party.
Yeah, he really kills the vibe, but he apologizes for it. It seems sincere.
Yeah, exactly.
Very believable. Strong performance. Strong performance.
It's
out of
this
Tom
is a really
Hanks.
great movie. I put it in the top 5 as it stands right now. I put it in my top 5 for MCU movies.
I gotta be honest. It's in my top 5 as well, and my Doctor Strange is my number 5 for the longest time. I really love Doctor Strange, and this one dethroned Doctor Strange for me.
Yeah.
So
The storytelling
Cool.
was just really, really strong in this one for that. It earned
yeah.
it. Yeah. It knocked out Iron Man. Iron Man's now number 6 for me, so that's fucking crazy.
I've got it ahead of Iron Man. I'm reassessing as I rewatch all these movies.
Yeah,
So
you're
since I
just
just
now-
watched
yeah.
it, it's number 1 for me for the 6 that I've seen in
Yeah.
the rewatch plus Black Panther. So
Yeah, it's
We'll
really
see,
good.
man.
Really good shit. One of Marvel's best for sure. Everybody needs to go see it if you haven't already, and I'm sure you have because it's like top 5 highest grossing weekends ever. So
right.
it already made like, Thor: The Dark World. Comparatively, I don't want to say didn't match Black Panther's entire opening weekend, but it's close. That's how fucking good the movie's doing.
And Thor: The Dark World did good.
Yeah, it did pretty
You know what I mean?
decent.
Like, 'cause that
Yeah.
movie
Sure.
like broke, like it turned a profit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. People still saw it, but it's just
it
crazy.
just came in that phase where how do you do movies after the biggest team up movie ever?
Right.
How do we make
you
second
send a
and
movie
third
out to
entries?
Palm the Sword just like you did with Iron Man 3. You know?
They did.
Or 2 or whatever.
Those are-
Yeah, 2.
Those are
3. No,
next for
3.
me.
No, 3. All right.
Black Panther is $6 million shy of beating the Avengers for the number 4 spot in best opening weekends, which
Well,
is.
But today's figures count, right?
Yeah, today's figures will count. It hasn't been counted yet on Box Office Mojo, but yeah, it counts as like a 4-day weekend because they count all of Friday and Thursday night. Anyway, great movie. Everybody should go see it.
It's rigged.
I'm Jeff Whitty on Twitter, WIDDY, and Letterboxd, and Kyle is on sub-culture.com. We write some shit, and he streams.
Yeah.
That's subculture no space or no dash on Twitch, and JD is a doctor. So
Yeah.
that's
Very busy.
That's us. That's very,
Such a busy guy.
very busy.
I can't believe he has time to do this podcast
I
every
know.
week.
Yeah, you know, guys, I mean, surgical precision is what I'm all about. So, thanks for giving me the opportunity. Scop up.
So ridiculous.
Sorry.
All right.
Doing
All right.
the thing.
So high pitched ending. Here it comes, everybody. See you guys later.